What is going on, Brownie Bros? It is your coach of the Green Bay Yampers, Big Time Brownie. We are currently 1-3. We are taking on the Columbus Swoo and Ruppy, who is surprisingly 2-2, because Ruppy is a very good battler. We played him last season, and he absolutely destroyed us before we made the changes to our team last year. But we are taking on the Columbus Swoo this week. I actually did not get the chance to build the team myself this week, so huge shout out to Steven, my GM, for helping me out with that. I've obviously looked at it, but so we'll get into it. First of all, let's talk about what Ruppy has on his Columbus Swoo. He has Ferrothorn, Passimian, Darmanitan, Tentacruel, Hydreigon, Gmax, Hatterene, Sandaconda, Exploud, Raichu, Trevenant, and Scyther. So actually like a pretty threatening team when you put all of those together. He's got some bulky Mons and some really fast Mons and Mons that hit really hard as well. So I think the team that I have currently there is the team I'm expecting him to bring. I could also see Sandaconda coming as well. But this is kind of what I expect from him. So first up, we have my Shifu, the Pangoro, and Pangoro is Adamant Nature with the Iron Fist ability. It has Close Combat, Knockoff, Fire Punch, and Bullet Punch, which are both boosted by that ability. It is holding the Life Orb. It has 252 EVs in attack, 222 in HP, and 28 in speed. Next up, we have Pinky, the newest addition to our team. Pinky is our Slowking with the Regenerator ability. It is max defense, 244 HP, and 12 SpDef, and it has Psychic Scald, Fire Blast, and Teleport. So I actually need to max PP that Psychic real quick after this, but I will do that. So I'm glad I remember to do that. But Fire Blast is for the Ferrothorn, obviously. Psychic we can kind of 1v1 Tentacruel at that point. And we can hit Passimian for super effective damage as well. Scald is something we can fire off against Darmanitan and maybe get a burn. And also that's there for the Sandaconda as well. Next up, and it's Bold Nature, by the way. Next up, we have Nox, the Weezing, with Sludge Bomb, Toxic Spikes, Fire Blast, and Pain Split. It is Bold Nature, max defense, 244 HP, 4 speed, and 8 SpDef. It is the Neutralizing Gas ability, which means we don't have to worry about Hatterene when we want to get our T-Spikes off, which is really nice. Pain Split's nice for some recovery. So this thing is going to be a physical wall. It can switch in like once into Darmanitan, and then it can also switch into a close combat. It's a close combat deterrent, essentially. Second one, besides Slowking. And Slowking is holding the Rocky Helmet, by the way, which I didn't mention. And Weezing is holding the Black Sludge. Next up, we have Halucha, again holding the Grassy Seed with Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Close Combat, and Poison Jab. It is the Adamant Nature with 252 attack, 220 speed, and 36 HP. We do outspeed a timid Hydreigon, so that's why we have that. But again, this is going to be our late game sweeper as long as we get some chip on pretty much everything. This thing can win, and if he doesn't have his Dynamax, we can win. We then have Flubber, our mixed Flubber, with Superpower, Iron Tail, Draco Meteor, and Earthquake. Flubber has the Sap Sipper ability, so we can take any Power Whips or Horn Leeches, or potentially a Seed Bomb from Passimian, which I don't think he would bring, but it's there. It's holding the Assault Vest, which boosts our special defense. It is Jolly Nature with 172 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, 4 SpDef, and 76 HP. Draco Meteor, it's there. We can sort of fire it off against anything to get that special hit off. This is definitely an interesting bring. So thanks again for Steven for building this. I think I might have gone with Fire Blast over Earthquake, but I have a lot of things that can deal with Mr. Ferrothorn over there. Next up, we have our Gigantamax Louie, our Rillaboom, with Grassy Glide, Darkest Lariat, Superpower, and Woodhammer, 2 strong grass moves. It is holding the Choice Band. It is Jolly Nature with 252 attack, 220 speed, 20 HP, and 4 in SpDef and defense. Darkest Lariat, obviously, if he wants to set up with anything, we can sort of break through that on the defensive side. If he's like a coil Sandaconda, which we would probably just go for Woodhammer anyway, but he could be also Well, I mean, Darkest Lyria is just there. I might change that to knockoff, honestly. But we'll see. And then we have Superpower for the Ferrothorn and Woodhammer. And Grassy Glide's just another fantastic move. So that's basically it. It's going to be a quick team builder for this one. I hope you enjoy the battle. What's going on, guys? We are here for our battle against now the San Diego Snugglers. So I did not decide to redo my my team builder, but unfortunately Ruppy, the coach of the Columbus Swoot, dropped, so D-Ray stepped in for him and is taking over with his San Diego Snugglers. So definitely go check him out if you haven't, and we'll talk to him after the battle. It's been a little while since since I guess Steven, as I mentioned, built this team for me, so I was just like, it's like a few days after when we're supposed to battle, so I'm like getting myself acquainted with the team again. But it should be interesting. I'm excited. D-Ray, we lost him towards the end of the last match of last year, so I'm excited to hopefully get a little bit of revenge. But looks like he's ready to go, so let's start. Let's see what he brings. He likes Anaconda, so he might bring that. Although he did have G-Max Anaconda last year, so we'll see. Okay, so Tentacruel. Okay. So Darmanitan, Hatterene, G-Max, Raichu, Scyther, Sanaconda, Tentacruel. Okay, so he does have the Tentacruel. No Trevenant, no X-Cloud, no Pharaoh, and no Passimian. And no Hydreigon. Which, Hydreigon's super scary, so I do not mind that. Okay. So, looking at his team, how do we win this? I think my Shifu has a pretty good shot at winning this, as does, as always, Mysterio. Mysterio looks really good now. We do have to take Raichu down a little bit, but I think he's probably going to lead Darmanitan. That would be my guess. He could also lead Sanaconda. I think either way, like, Pinky has a pretty good matchup, unless he leads Raichu. He could lead Scyther too, I guess, but we can just teleport on this first turn. So we'll see how this goes. A lot of mons I was not expecting. I was not expecting Raichu, but I guess it kind of makes sense. There is D-Ray, the Grandmaster himself. Just want to make sure that we're recording. No name. So it is Tentacruel. Okay, so based on how I know D-Ray battles, I feel like the move is to probably TP. Does he have a... Although, Psychic is actually really free. Psychic is super free. I'm just gonna hit Psychic, honestly. So we have Tentacruel here. He could knock off. He could also set up his T-Spikes, but if he does, we do have our Poison type. Weezing that does not have Levitate. So he does set up his T-Spikes. We're gonna get a nice Toxic off. Or Psychic off, rather. And that does over half. Oh, it was a crit. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was gonna say, that did a lot of damage. I'm just gonna go for a Psychic again, because again, Psychic is pretty free. Shoot, I feel bad about that. Maybe I should have run Psyshock. Probably, I actually probably should have run Psyshock because, well, we'll see. We'll just go for it again. So he does withdraw. Cheeks. Is that Raichu? That is Raichu. So we're gonna get a nice Psychic off here. So we saw T-Spikes, Raichu. I feel like Raichu took that pretty well. Raichu level 50, 41 to 54, or 45 to 50. Oh, I guess that's about normal. Okay. So Volt Switch is probably coming out here. How much does... Okay, so Thunderbolt does way too much. How much does it do to Weezing? Thunderbolt is 2 KO on Weezing. I guess we kind of just have to go Goodra, unfortunately. And we can also check what kind of Tentacruel that was, because I think that was Spadef, honestly. We are going to take the T-Spike, which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. He does Volt Switch. Maybe I should have TP'd. It's not like he has the greatest switch-ins. I mean, he has Hatterene. But other than Hatterene, he's not going to do a whole lot to us. Let me make sure. Okay, so he just goes Hatterene. Take a little poison. I am going to go into Nox here. What I assume is going to be some sort of Dazzling Gleam type deal. And Nox, honestly, has become far less useful. But we will be able to get rid of the Toxic Spike. Trick Room. Ooh, okay. Hatterene, OU Calm Mind at level 50. So, let's see. Psyshock. Psychic probably kills us. Oh, I'm on the wrong Pokemon. Psychic does have a chance to kill us. I think I just go for Sludge Bomb here, just in case he goes for the Combine. I'm willing to let Weezing go. He does Dynamax. Honestly, that's fine. To me, this is almost like... Well, he could just end up taking 3 Pokemon here, honestly. But it is worth seeing how much he's going to do to Goodra. Let's say Dazzling Gleam. Okay. So he does Max Mindstorm. That's 100% going to take us out. Psychic Terrain is up. So I just kind of need to stall out his Dynamax turns. Okay, Goodra is important. Okay, I'm actually going to go into Pinky. I should probably have checked if we can take a Max Phantasm. Okay, that shouldn't kill us. So, I'm just going to teleport here. Gmax Smite, okay. So, ideally we don't get confused here. Is it always confused? Or if we do, we break through? Please break through. Ugh. Is Gmax Smite all he's got? Okay. Dazzling Gleam. 43 to 51. Okay, so 51. So we have 101. Okay, so unless he gets a super high roll... Do I need Gudra? I think I need this more. Ugh, okay. It's unfortunate. Hopefully he has Max Phantasm. That would be my only... Maybe I do need this more. Oh my god, it's so late. I can't even think. This probably takes us out. Oh, it does not. Wow. Okay. So that's actually really good. And I'm gonna save Gudra. I'm gonna save the switch in for Gudra. So... I think I go Pinky here again. The Psychic Terrain's still up. Side shot, okay. As the dimensions do turn back to normal. Okay, he can't really... Oh, I misclicked. He can't really touch us, though. He might have Mystical Fire, I guess. Oh, Draining Kiss. Okay. Well, that worked out. Rillaboom. I think I go Rillaboom here. So he's shown... Okay, he might be Mystical Fire, which does over half. What would his switch-in be here? He's got Scyther. He's got... I think I can just fire off a Wood Hammer. Now this thing is 100% a problem. Okay. Is that Eviolite? Scyther, if he Swords Dances here, we might lose. Okay, so that's 100% Eviolite. I would expect a dual Wing Beat to come out here. I think I just sack Flubber off right now. Man, rocks would have been nice, huh? Unfortunately, I just don't have a rock user. Okay, so he has U-turn. We will get some initiative here. Scyther. Eviolite. U-turn. Okay, Raichu comes out. I think I have to go back out into Louie. And I think I go for a knockoff here. I'm assuming he'll Volt Switch. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got a crit early, I guess. Okay. So we're gonna knock off whatever I believe this is an Eviolite. Okay, if we're Dynamax, Dual Wing Beat, 59 to 67%. We are at 129. 129, which is 72%. So barring a crit, this should not kill us. And Max Darkness would take him out. Alright, how many turns of terrain are left? This is the last turn of terrain. Okay. So with where we're at, Scyther's weakened, Raichu's at half, Darmanitan hasn't hit the field, Tentacruel's low. I think I have to Max Darkness here. Best case scenario, he U-turns or knocks off. Or even Swords Dances. But unless we get crit, his Dual Wing Beat, actually best case scenario, his Dual Wing Beat misses. But it does connect. And that brings us down to 60%. And Max Darkness will come out now. And I think I needed to do that. Well, maybe no, because I had no other choice. Because I think I do need to keep Pangoro around. I could have maybe sacked Pangoro there. And kept my G-Max. Maybe I should have done that. But I'm assuming Darmanitan's going to come out here. Tentacruel could also come out. Raichu. Really anything's pretty free. Okay. I think my switching's always Pinky here. U-turn obviously kills us from this range, so it's very free for him. But he will take some chip from a Rocky Helmet, and we will be able to get a sort of reading on what hit the set is. So let's have Pinky out. We are fully... Okay, so he does Flare Blitz. And holy... Was that a crit? He's Choice Banded. 140. Whoa, that did so much damage. Okay, wait. Or is he... Well, let's see. Choice Band, level 50. Flare Blitz. What? Oh, I'm Dynamax. That's why. 43 to 50. Holy shit. I'm gonna teleport, just in case he switches out. Okay, he does U-turn. I wonder if this will kill. Ugh, we don't hang on. That was, Okay, so we know he's not Choice Banded. He's Life Orbed. He must be. Yeah, okay. Darmanitan is Life Orbed. Okay, so he's... What do we need to be at for Sandaconda? To Sandaconda level 50. Close combat at +2 does 63. Okay, does Grassy Glide kill a Raichu? Raichu level 50. It should. And I'm just gonna hit Grassy Glide here. Okay. So we do take out Raichu. Which obviously that static could be really bad for Hawlucha if it... I mean, I doubt it was Lightning Rod. Now, Darmanitan. Do we kill Darmanitan? Okay, we do. We do. Okay. Grassy Glide should not be a roll here. This should take him out. I mean, Rillaboom by itself might be able to win this. Woodhammer does 33% recoil damage. We're at 47, so we're at 26%. So one more turn, 2 more turns of recovery before we can actually use Woodhammer. I mean, he has Tentacruel, which maybe that's Rocky Helmet or something. Okay. Okay. We take out Gorilla. And this is kind of why I wanted to get rid of Scyther, just because he doesn't have that switch in. Lady Zoro. Okay, 3 turns of Grassy Terrain left. Grassy Glide into... Okay, in... Hatterene... Level 50... Does 53 to 64. And how many turns? Okay, so there's 3 turns left. Okay, Mysterio no longer needs its speed, so once it comes in, it's not like I need to set up. So on the off stance, he goes for Psyshock here. Okay, so he doubles into No Name. Ooh, that was a good play. So the 1 T-Spike's gonna hurt Rillaboom for sure, if that's what he goes for. He could also just Scald here. But I'm just gonna go for a knockoff. Okay, he does Scald. Please don't burn me. Please, 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 please. Okay, thank God. Okay. So Pangoro, first kill as a member of the Green Bay Yampers. Okay, so it's Sandaconda and it's Hatterene. That's what we have left. We need Chip. Okay, so the question is, how much do we do Sandaconda if he's just fully defensive and he is bold? Wow. He just tanks a Woodhammer at that point. Oh, that's level 100. Okay, he does not tank a Woodhammer. Okay, so Hatterene here. So Draining Kiss, he's obviously going to get all of his health back. But I kind of have to sack here. Oh my God. Weakness policy. He Trick Rooms. Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. That's actually so good. Okay. We have the Grassy Terrain up, not the Psychic Terrain up. So we do have the Bullet Punch. And we will get the Grassy Terrain back. Let's make sure we hit the right thing here. We'll go for the bullet punch. Oh man, okay. So we'll get rid of... Oh, I'm so glad I Life Orb instead of Choice Scarfed or Banded this. Okay. So Sandaconda. Unfortunately, we have all physical attackers, so if he's like Rest... I can't type. Sandaconda. Full from our Pangoro at level 50. I think I close combat. We outspeed him! Wow. Red card. Oh my god! Oh no! That sucks. Is this the last turn of Trick Room? He's got 2 turns left. I think I can just CC here. Okay, he is Rest. So Shedskin's obviously a problem. But we do have the high horsepower. Okay, and from Halucha here, 31 to 37%, just about. But Rillaboom, at the end of the day, should be able to take him out. So, I think I SD here, on the off chance he stays asleep. And it's the last turn of Trick Room, and so he'll go first, yeah. And this honestly, well, if he stays asleep, it's over. But this honestly might kill. He just hangs on. He's gonna have to go for Rest again. This music. Okay. So we are able to pick up a 3-0 victory against the San Diego Snugglers. We get our second win on the board, which is just really important for us. Rillaboom and Pangoro just did so much work together, and a crit just to rub salt in the wounds. But GG to D-Ray. We'll be with him to talk. It wasn't his team, so, like, you know, we can't, you know, we'll see what he does from here, because I think he's such a good battler. So we'll be back with him in a second. I'm just happy to get my second win. But yes, we'll be back in a second. All right, guys, I am joined by the Grandmaster himself, D-Ray. How you doing, man?
What's going on? Thanks for having me. It was a great battle.
I thought you had me there, honestly. I really thought I was gonna lose. But
yeah, it was funny because I brought in Raichu and I was like, oh cool, we're chilling. And I don't know if it's because it's late at night, I blanked. I was like, oh, Grassy Glide is a thing. So that was a mess up, but that's okay. You know, you were having a good time. It was all good.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's your first battle back. It's not your team. So how did you find that? You know, just picking up a random team.
It's different. It's a different dynamic from having the own team that you drafted initially, right? So you have a general understanding of what you have in the first place. But I purposely brought 3 of the Pokemon that ended up dropping, just to see if it was worth it to have them. So Scyther, Sandaconda, and Hatterene are 3 Pokemon that we dropped.
Okay.
We held on to Tentacruel, Darmanitan, and Raichu, but they looked pretty good. I was actually really scared of your 2 fairy types because I wanted to bring Hydreigon so bad, but the matchup was just not good. You have both Klefki and Comfey. So when I didn't see either of them, I was like, oh, this is a bummer.
I was really hoping that that's what would happen. It would deter you from bringing that Pokemon. But honestly, Scyther was really hard to deal with, which is why I had to G-Max, right? Because I had to take it out, otherwise you could just keep on switching into Rillaboom. But Sandaconda too, I don't know if you remember, but we played you had G-Max Sandaconda last year. That thing gives me PTSD. That thing was so good. Of the red card set.
I'm still hard on that set.
No, don't apologize. Yeah. I was talking about that before.
Was it the Hurricane set?
I think that's what it was, yeah. That was awesome. But, you were Substitute Darmanitan. Dang.
So the idea behind sub was to catch you on the Switch if I got it on Rillaboom. So I was actually going to hit up a sub then.
Okay.
But the fact that you still had Slowking around didn't make much sense regardless, because then I'll lose HP to getting the sub up, and if you're Rocky Helmet, then we're, in big trouble.
Right.
My two biggest misplays were, basically, I told you before that I think I threw. Nonetheless, you played phenomenally, by the way. You played so
I appreciate that.
There's two big highlighted parts where me personally being so, I don't know if it was because I was so relaxed, but like I said, it was late at night, I don't know. But what I should have done is roosted with Scyther when you G-Max, because I live in hit regardless. So if I just roost stall your G-Max until you either switch or try your best to just get a crit or something, I could have roost stalled your G-Max out, and then I can dual wing beat you later, or vice versa. So I wanted to roost you out and I didn't, so I just clicked dual wing B. So that was the first part, and then I brought in Raichu on your Rillaboom with Grassy Glide. That was not smart. so there's two different parts there. I needed Scyther in order to deal with your Rillaboom, and
right. Yeah, I was hoping you didn't have Roost, but you did have that. Honestly though, once Scyther was gone, Grassy Glide you didn't really have a switch into that. Because I was choice banded, by the way. Actually, I didn't send you my team. So let me do that really quickly so you can know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I honestly, because I think you were very much outplaying me at first, and sort of playing around my Pokemon very well. And honestly, what was scaring me more than anything is you were saving your Sandaconda, and I was like, I just cannot sweep with Hawlucha as long as he has that thing around. So that was also really scary. I really did like the weakness policy too on the G-Max Hatterene. That is something I was not prepared for at all. Trick Room weakness policy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because the one thing that you could probably done is if you're Assault Vested Gujo, which is expected. I think you're Assault Vest as well. I haven't looked at your teammate just from the calcs, because Volt
right.
Switch did.
I just sent it to you if you want to pull it up.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Yeah. So you are Assault Vested. Perfect.
Yeah.
So if you had Sludge Wave on it, then I could pop weakness policy. If you did bring the Weezing, I could pop weakness policy. So there's a couple different ways I could have done it, especially with the Pangoro if you brought that as well.
Right.
But the idea behind I'm totally blanking right now. So the G-Max Smite would have been my out if you ended up being Bullet Punch. That was my biggest thing. Or if you're a Roselli Berry, but let's you're a Life Orb on your Pangoro. So good bring by that part. But we were pretty. It was looking pretty good in the beginning, but you brought it back. It was pretty good. My thought came back to me. It was the Sandaconda had red card, so that was my answer to your Hawlucha. I was pretty confident in just what I wanted to do is I wanted to bait you into bringing Hawlucha.
Gotcha.
That's my initial thought process of bringing in Raichu on Rillaboom in the first place. I just clicked Volt Switch for whatever reason, not remembering that had Grassy Glide. But the idea was to bait in your Hawlucha, so that way I can bring in Sandaconda while you click an attack, because the red card would, throw you out, gets rid of the inverted boost. And then from then, Raichu is just the fastest thing there, because you don't have a ground type, so Raichu was completely free this entire matchup.
Right.
So if I could get Sandaconda in on a close combat or an acrobatics or whatever you wanted to go for, I could red card it out. You lose your unburden, then Raichu just wins from there. But you ended up saving it, which is great for you. So that's awesome that you did that.
Yeah, Hawlucha, I'm very reluctant to bring it out. But once it came out with the red card, I kind of had to keep it in there. And unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. You got 3 turns of, I think 3 turns. Yeah, you got 3 turns of sleep, right? Which sucks.
It was 2. It was on a rest. It was Sandaconda.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's a 33% chance to get the
shed skin.
Shed skin, and I was like, oh, this is far. When you switched, I was like, oh, bummer. My red card's about to pop, and you're gonna bring in Hawlucha, and then the high horsepower wasn't gonna work. That was a bummer. but nonetheless, it was still a great game.
Yeah. So when you trick roomed at the end there, did you not expect Bullet Punch? Because last year I did the same thing. I switched into Togekiss against Pangoro, and I was like, oh, this is easy. And then I got Bullet Punched. So I don't know if... Were you not expecting that?
The only play that I had I
Yeah.
had to hope that you didn't have bullet punch.
Right.
Because if you knock off into bullet punch regardless, I would have lost in any way. So if I trick roomed and you didn't have bullet punch, then I could win the game from there. But the fact that you packed it in the first place, I didn't think Pangoro was going to come. Or else I would have definitely done the Viviri Berry instead of weakness policy, because I do value having that thing around regardless because of the draining kiss. It can just stick around and just take hits for days, because I did bring it pretty bulky.
Yeah.
But I told it in my video, like, the only way I will win this game now is if he doesn't have bullet punch on Pangoro. But I told him, I was like, there's no way he doesn't. So I trick room, and then he got the knockoff. I was like, okay, they've worked.
Well, so I was afraid because I was in with one wood hammer, I would kill myself. So I thought you might draining kiss, and then I would have to kind of choose like what to kill, and I would have been in maybe a sticky situation there. But I think it would have been hard at that point anyway, after Raichu was gone. Yeah. But I really wish Raichu too. That's really cool.
Yeah, the wish was there because of the fact that I brought Life Orb on Darmanitan. I needed Darm to stick around for as long as humanly possible.
For sure, and you have the sub too.
Also, Tentacruel was super important. But
yeah, that crit sucks.
Push up the team on the last. What would be the last thing? But Raichu basically needed to. Raichu was the win con. And the fact that I brought it in on Rillaboom, I was like, okay, we need to focus here. But yeah, the wish was just a last ditch effort. I don't have anything else that I needed to put on there. The surf was there in case you brought Colossal, because I told them in my team builder, I was like, the Hatterene just gets walled by Colossal, especially versus the def set.
Right.
Not that much I could do about that. It's basically you bring it in on my Gmax and I waste it. So I'm glad I didn't bring that, but surf was there in case you did bring it. But nonetheless, you had no ground type, so I just could. The plan with Raichu was just a volt switch, come in and volt switch every single time. I didn't really stay in on anything else.
Yeah, I mean that was so free. Well, I just picked up Palisand this week, so I'm hoping I've fixed that problem. Actually, I don't know if you know, but this is not my team either. I took over for Beta before week 1, so this is not my draft. But I made a few changes, obviously, to like try to make it my own. But yeah, so both of us kind of in the same boat there. But it's
battle of the replacements.
Yeah, exactly. But do you have any other thoughts on the match? Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the crit sucked on the Tentacruel. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Because
I valued getting toxic even if it wasn't badly poisoned on the Goodra so much that I was okay with you staying in. Best case scenario that you had Psy Shock instead, because I had you were Psychic actually. I was
Psychic, yeah.
So I brought in me bringing up Toxic Spikes was just the number one priority, just because Goodra is just super annoying.
Yeah.
Just had to deal with, so I had to poison that thing. The crit did suck, but there was outs there. That's why I wanted to bring Black Sludge on. And Black Sludge plus the Grassy Terrain just heals it up super quick.
It does, yeah.
But I mean, could have been a different game, maybe.
It could have,
but
yeah.
At the end of the day, it was just the Scyther play that ended up doing it in for me. I should have just roosted. But like I said, again, you did really well.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I think you did really well playing around the Goodra too, because that thing ended up doing nothing, and the wheezing as well. So anyway, good game, man. Thank you for coming on. If you guys have not checked D-Ray out, make sure you go sub to him. Check out he has some great content, probably some of the best on YouTube. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. And make sure you join his Discord, listen to his podcast. It's all awesome. So go ahead and do that. I will see you guys next week in the IBL.